everybody. Welcome to Taco Tuesday. I'm Troy Anderson, the founder of RepairShopr, and today I've got August Langely from Smartphone Repair in South Carolina. Hello.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Welcome.
Yeah.
So the format of this Taco Tuesday is we are going to share some tacos. I'm going to show off what you picked up. I went to a little place called Paquitos up on Capitol Hill, got some fancy beef and some pork El Pastor. What kind of tacos you got?
So looks all homemade, but it's really just some Chipotle. I've got there's not many options here right now. Some of my good friends are opening up a taco shop right down the street, but unfortunately it's not open yet. So I'm waiting for some good authentic tacos, but right now we'll go with Chipotle.
I'm happy with Chipotle. We'll call those authentic tacos. They do a good job.
Yeah, they're good.
And we can do another one of these when you get a real taco place.
Yeah. Hopefully soon.
Cool. So we've done different things on this show so far, but I wanted to basically hear your background, how you got into business. I think it's a pretty fun story. I've heard bits and pieces of it from conversations we've had. By the way, everyone, so I met August on the Facebook groups, and then we ran into him at CTIA, and he's been a RepairShopr user for a long time, so we go kind of way back. So that's why we might seem a little bit like we know each other already. We do. Actually, let's have a little bit of taco, and then maybe we'll get into some storytelling.
Usually in my store we do like Fiesta Fridays. So on Fridays we'll get Mexican food.
Oh yeah?
So order it from a place down the road and they'll deliver it, and we'll have whatever Mexican food. So try to keep ourselves full of some good food.
I wonder how many shops do that. We had Pizza Friday, and it is still going on 5 years later. So it's the thing that the staff liked.
Yeah, it happens pretty regularly. So I think it's always definitely a great call. I mean, you get some great morale there, and I mean, every once in a while you pay for it for them, and they're all super happy. Like, oh yes, free food. So always make a good time.
And so you're at your home office in South Carolina right now?
Home office. It's really nice. Got it all set up. I just got my 27-inch monitor in, so I'm really upping my game, getting productive here at home.
Bigger monitor always means more productivity.
Oh, it was amazing. I went from like a 20-inch to a 27-inch, and I'm just like, I need 3 of these.
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it. So if I remember right, you started doing repair on your own out of like a coffee shop. Tell us how you got started in cell phone repair.
Well, it was back in the day. I had an iPhone 3GS, and it was awesome. I bought it myself, and it was the first awesome phone I had. And I don't remember how I broke it, but I broke the screen, and I was like, what am I going to do? Because you can't, at that time, there was no way to just go find a place, especially where I was from, that could fix it. So I was Googling what to do because I did not want to go back to my flip phone that I had. That was not a move I wanted to make. And so I did some Google searching, found it on Amazon. I tried it out. So it worked out. Then I messed up that repair. So I did it again, fixed it. And a couple months later, I broke my phone. Like in like a 6-month period, I think I broke my phone 4 times. And so after fixing it and messing it up, I was like, I think I can do this for people. And so I just posted on Craigslist, got some business cards. I was working at Starbucks, and so I'd be working the drive-through window, and people would be getting their lattes, and I'd see their phones and their laps just busted. And so I'm like, hey, here's my card. You need to get this fixed. And they're like, oh, really? What? You can fix this? I was like, yeah, you can fix this. I can do it, no problem. And so I'd be like, just bring it, and I'd have people bring it to Starbucks, and I'd be fixing it like when I was off the clock. And so
how many did you fix before you started handing out business cards out of the drive-through window?
I made business cards pretty quick. I had some, that was one of the first things I did was made some cool business cards.
Did you
So,
go to the print and get the free ones?
yeah, I had a buddy of mine design them, and then he got them printed somewhere. I can't remember where he got them printed, but he got some high quality cards that people held on to, and so it was pretty great. Until people kept on calling the Starbucks that I worked at, asking for me. Like, hey, where's the guy that fixes phones? And they'd be like, I need to get my phone fixed. And people would be like, my coworkers are like, no, you can't call here. And so I had to upgrade and move on to another location. So I started, I made some connections locally, and there was a storage facility, like an indoor storage unit that was
Like a shared storage, self-storage.
yeah, it's like a self-storage. I mean, it was all indoor, so you had to like type in a code to get inside. So there's this guy who needed me to he needs somebody to keep an eye on it. So I was like, yeah, sure, I can do that. So I had a little storage unit in there, and it's hard to explain where it was because no one knew where it was. It was like on the backside of downtown, like next to railroad tracks. And so no one knew where it was. I was there. People would come and knock on the door, and then all of a sudden the door would open, and I'd say, hey, come on in. And they would like walk in, and like you saw it. Like they were like, what is going on? Like
rolling up the door.
Yeah, I'd roll up the door, and there's my setup. And so I had a
How much did you pay for rent for this? Did you get this for free for watching the place?
yes, yeah, I got it for free. I was in there for free.
Bootstrapping, everybody.
Yes, bootstrapped it for sure. Came with there was bathrooms, there was Wi-Fi, there was power. I had like everything on like 4 extension cords. I mean, it wasn't like very
Open the door, and what did people see? Was there a table?
Yeah, they opened the door. I had 2 units back to back, and so they'd see like I had a couple chairs and like a little lobby waiting area. It looked like a living room, and then my desk was like kind of right in the middle, and so people would come up to the desk. And this was like way back in the day. This is like in the dark ages, what I call my business. I was using pen and paper, and it was like writing. Okay, let me get the information. So I'd write it down, and then I'd be like, okay, I'll fix it real quick. And so I'd fix it for them, and so it worked out. I mean, it was a mess. Like I was all over the place. Couldn't keep up. I had 2 phones, so people probably didn't know me, thought I was really shady. I mean, I'd have 2 phones, and all of a sudden I'd hand somebody something, and I'd get a wad of cash, like in parking lots and stuff like that. So made a lot of jokes about how shady I was being, but it was a fun time. It was a good time.
Wow. Okay, so are you willing to share how much revenue? What was like your peak revenue out of the mini storage office?
So that first year, it was like 2012, I think, is when I first started like getting a phone call every day, and that's kind of the moment that I was like, okay, this is happening. That first year I was doing college, it was distance education. So I was in school, working full time or close to it. And I think I made like $20,000, but this is like $20,000 off of like 50 repairs.
First year. Yeah, if you're doing it part-time from 30 release brothers, 20 grand is great.
Yes. And it was, it was very by the cuff. I didn't keep up with many things. And so it was a mess, but it was really good. I always had something going on, and was able to help a lot of people, and kind of made a name for myself in the community. And so knew it was happening really well. So started growing some more, slowly but surely.
Yeah. You ate some tacos. I'll do a little bit of my origin story and let you catch me. I feel like mine's like a little similar with like the super basic bootstrapping. So I got like a few $1,000s from my dad to get some equipment. I had to get like the metal clipboard, like the carpet cleaners use, that had like my forms in it and my calculator. That's how I did my tax calculation. And I got a nice polo shirt with like a logo embroidered on it, and then started doing friends and family. And I just said, okay, I'm starting. And 2 friends were with me early on. They went off to do other things in the first year, but 2003. So I've got my clipboard, my van, my Astro van, and pen and paper and stuff. And I went to the local print shop and printed a bunch of door hangers printed like 500 door hangers and went door to door all over the neighborhood. Got rid of almost all of them. Did some like Ross, parking lot, stuck them under everyone's windshield wipers.
You were that guy.
Yeah, I got one phone call from the Ross parking lot, and it was like, "What are you doing putting trash on my car?" So don't do that, maybe. But I don't know. Maybe other people called months later when they thought of me because of it that I couldn't contribute. But that was basically what happened. But it'd be like a friend of my mom's needs computer pick over, random stuff like that was the first few jobs, and then it was some networking groups and stuff. So similarly organic. I think my first full year was $15,000 and $20,000 too. So like, roommates I couldn't afford to really survive on it. But second year was double, and it was 100,000 in a few years. So more of a living wage happened pretty quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels like the start was. It's so similar that it's just like barely making it. I think I could do this for people. I think that's how a lot of us small guys start out.
I was Googling everything and on iFixit every day, like trying to make sure I was doing it right. And
YouTube.
Yeah.
So after that space, like, what spaces after that? How long did you do the mini storage, and where'd you go from there?
So I was in the mini storage. I was doing it like outside of storage unit for about a year, and then I was in that storage unit for about a year after that. And so that last 6 months I was in that storage unit, I was, or the first 6 months I was in the storage unit, I was finishing school. I had just gotten engaged. I was like, just everything was happening. And then 6 months before moving out of the storage unit, got married. And so I was working at Starbucks still, and I was like kind of tired of the hourly work, having to be somewhere and my phone is ringing off the hook in my pocket. So talked to her with the wife, and we're like, hey, we can do this full time. So she quit her job. I quit my job, found a space like downtown, like it's the most prime spot. It's awesome. And opened up. I had to go in and completely renovate the inside. It looked terrible on the inside. So spent 2 months doing that while doing repair.
And then how expensive was the renovation?
Oh man, I probably spent like $5,000 fixing it inside.
My first store too. Cool.
But I paid $5,000 to fix the room. The room itself was empty. So I had 1,100 square feet of space that had 2 desks in it and like 3 shelves. So I had nothing because I didn't get any money from anyone. So
I can picture 1,000 square feet. This is a pretty big space. You went on white walls and a couple chairs. That was your.
Yes. I had a desk, the same desk, the same setup from my 100 square foot space. I just kind of moved it over to my 1,100 square foot.
Mini storage, and you brought the same equipment into your awesome prime retail location and just went for it.
Yeah. Because I tried to get loans, I tried to get grants, and I couldn't get any. They're like, you have too many school loans. I'm like, well, duh, doesn't everyone? So kind of couldn't go that route. And so my wife quit her job, and we went at it full time, and we were working, every day, like 5-6 days a week, fixing phones, and it was going well. It was really great. But I mean, even that was still like, there'd be days that, I'm the only one doing repairs, and I just can't even keep up. Like, so I'm answering the phone, and my wife's there, but I'm answering the phone, doing everything you need to do, and I'm still on pen and paper at this point. And so I'm still,
days when it was totally dead and you were worried there was no money coming, or was it always just like busy?
Yeah, there'd be days where, I get one call and you're like, all right, cool. And then you hope they come in, and then you have like 3 people come in the whole day, and you're like, my gosh, what in the world? And you've got stuff going on, but like when you don't have new people coming in, you don't have like money actually, you're not handling money. Like you feel like, even though there's stuff you can stay busy with, like nothing's happening. And so kind of like, should we have both quit our jobs? So that first year we made, I think like we quadrupled. We were like 60, 70,000. I think it was 80,000 that first year, maybe a little more. But again, that was like half the year was pretty much part-time. Half the year we were kind of like ramping up. And I can't remember how much it was actually, but it was
like, how much was the rent on that place when you first got it?
So I negotiated discounted rent. So what?
Sorry, I want to be very tactical if possible about this so people like know hard numbers, what we're talking about here to bootstrap.
So it was like $700 a month, but I told them, but it was because I renovated the building myself. And so me and my dad spent like a week laying new floors in. We put the lights up ourselves. Like we did all new lighting fixtures. We like painted and sanded the walls. So we did it all ourselves. So we saved a lot of money. But yeah, it was like $700 a month, which was great. It's a great location.
And then, okay, this is awesome. And then you're on pen and paper. And then when do you hire your first employee? So
that first year, it's me and my wife. And so at the end of the year, well, he's now my brother-in-law. He was like transitioning out of school and trying to find a job. And so I let him work with me for a couple of months before he found a job. And so he worked with me for a little while. And it was kind of like under the table, just kind of like not having to deal with paperwork. And so, but after he left, I couldn't go back to just me and my wife. So found a kid that was in college that I knew and had him come in and work on Saturdays, basically, and after school some days. So we did that for a little while before we hired another person. So the next year we hired like 2 or 3 people.
Okay.
And so
it's a great way to start. I'll second that. If you can start someone just Saturdays or afternoons and Saturdays, or even like a contractor just Saturdays or something for a couple months while you like get over the feeling of the commitment and everything, and then once you do it for a little while, you're just going to be like, oh yeah, we need full-time people for sure, right? Was that your experience? As soon as people were in for a little bit, you're like, let's just do this full-time because they can take over all that, entry-level stuff.
Yeah, because they were taking those. This was like iPhone 4s, so they're spending the 30 minutes it took to take an iPhone 4 apart just because it had so many screws. But I didn't want to spend all my time doing it. It didn't take me 30 minutes, but it was still like time consuming.
It took me an hour. We did a couple of those in our shop in those days, but that was when we stopped doing iPhone repair because those things, they were taking me an hour and then.
They were just tedious, and so. But getting employees definitely helped out. But then it was the point of time where I couldn't handle the volume. I couldn't handle it with pen and paper. So we did some great Google searching, and we found RepairShopr. And that's when my life changed forever, Troy. Thank you. I'm going to take this moment to say thank you. Without you, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I probably would have.
What are some of the more memorable benefits of the early days when you got off paper and had whatever system? But yeah, RepairShopr. Like, do you remember any of the major wins that was like, was any of it just mind blowing, or was it just we feel more organized? Or how did you guys see it when you first switched to it?
I mean, it was incredible to be able to like take a customer in because we had customer data. We kept people's names and phone numbers and stuff, but we couldn't search through that. So if somebody came in a month later, hey, you just fixed my phone, we have to go like look through like paper to try to figure out what we did, what went wrong. So we had no data on anything we were doing. So we didn't know what was fixed, what wasn't fixed. And so we got a chance to capture customer data, which was huge. And then from there, we got a chance to keep track of like previous work we've done. So a customer comes in now, I can say 3 years later, I can look at them and say, wow, you've come in over 20 times. But we have that relationship because they come back and they keep on coming back. And so we were building great relationships. This just gave us a chance to actually keep track of those things. And like, when somebody come in with 5 repairs, I'm not going to be like, oh, who are you again? I'm going to be like, oh, hey, I already know your information. So
it's like the most important feature that you would never lead with, like in a sales pitch. It's like, it's just going to have your database that you can search and you're going to know about them when they come back in. That's like, it's so simple, but usually because it's not very exciting.
Yeah.
That's major when you're going from any system to something.
And we were able to, with having employees, I was able to have a workflow. So I could tell them, okay, step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3, do this. Because at that point in time, like I had to be involved in every single thing that was going on. Like I said, all right, here's your next repair. And they would fix it and they would hand it back to me. That's all they did. They just did repairs because there was no other way to organize anything. So that journey to step away and like to be able to, because I knew that I couldn't be there every day. I wanted to take a vacation. You know, I wanted to be able to like, you know, go home early. I wanted to be able to like, you know, have freedom to, you know, do other things. And so this RepairShopr was the path for that to happen. So
that's awesome. So I don't want to make this like a giant RepairShopr.
Yeah.
podcast. After you got the software rolling, like, is that the end of the story? It's going? Or did you have any more exciting milestones that you can think of after that?
I mean, yeah, there was always crazy stories. I mean, you know, having cops come in and arrest one of my employees in the store was is nothing you ever expect to happen.
Okay, tell me about the arrest. Like, if you have I think I've heard the story, and you don't need to go into much detail, but.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into much detail here, but it was a guy, you know, one of my employees had been working with me for like 6 months. He had some kind of bench warrant out. So it wasn't even like that it was just that he didn't show up to court or something stupid. He didn't tell me. He just kind of was ignoring the problem. So these 3 plainclothes officers walk in. I'm helping a customer. They walk right past me behind this little barrier we had. And I walk around the corner and I see him in handcuffs. And I'm just like, what the heck, man? And so he gets arrested. They're like, yeah, he had this bench warrant. And I'm like, all right. So he didn't last much longer after that. So it was pretty crazy. That's something you never expect, but.
I heard you had a hair shop going on in your shop. Was there?
Yes.
Tell us about this.
So one of my friends, you know, that I worked with previously at Starbucks, started cutting people's hair. And so he was cutting hair, and he, you know, you kind of have to have a space for that. You can't just do that in Starbucks. So he was in his house, but he didn't have any space. And so I was talking to him, and I had my front room, but I also had about 600 square feet in a back room that was like kind of separate. And so I was like, yeah, sure. We were talking one day. I was like, yeah, just cut hair here. So he started cutting people's hair in the back of my shop. You know, obviously he didn't have a license or anything like that, but I mean, it was just, he was cutting these guys' hair. So they'd walk in and they'd be like, hey, where's Rob? And I'm like, oh yeah, he's in the back. Come on. And so like, there again, customers are getting helped. And I'm like walking some guy to the back and they're like, who's Rob? Like, and so they get their hair cut and they're like, all right, see you, man. I'm like, all right, have a good day. And so I just had my friend, he was cutting hair in the back room. He was the mailroom barber. But it's cool. He has his own store now. I mean, he opened a barbershop this past week or about a month ago. And I mean, we got to grow our businesses together in a lot of ways. So it was funny at the time. I mean, but we were just young and kind of going after it. So
that's awesome. I love these stories. Okay.
Yeah.
Last question.
Yeah.
How's it been to work at RepairShopr?
Oh man, it's a dream come true, I'd say. You know, I love RepairShopr, and you know, just the journey I've been on has kind of continually progressed me towards you know, constantly improving, constantly changing. But one of the things I love seeing is, you know, like with my friend who opened a business, like being able to help him, you know, and just being there for advice for him, and you know, giving him a place to start off, like was really fulfilling. And so now I get to come to RepairShopr and help other business owners do the same thing. So getting to talk about RepairShopr and other businesses is so much fun. I love my business. I still have it. I got a great team of guys that keep it running for me. But it's been such an honor to be able to kind of join the team and help RepairShopr, you know, do for other people what it did for me, I guess you could say.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. This concludes another Taco Tuesday. Thank you very much, August, for hanging out with me.
Thanks, man.
Bye, everybody.